Okay, so we've gone from one-step equations to two-step equations, and now with B3 we're getting into multi-step equations. On the first page we have, and the second page, we have a couple examples just so that you know what to do for each type of problem. So you have your original problem that's listed here first. It's negative 18 equals 3x plus 2 minus 7x. So we've got the original equation. The first thing that we want to do is we want to combine our like terms. So if you notice here, we have 3x that can combine with a negative 7x. And know that things can only combine if they're on the same side of the equal sign. So since these two are on the same side, I can say that 3x minus 7x gives me a negative 4x. And from this step, now we've got our two-step equation like we did yesterday. So we would subtract 2 from each side, which eliminates this. We've still got a negative 4x, and negative 18 minus 2 gives us negative 20. To get rid of this negative 4 that's right next to our x, it's connected by multiplication, so to undo that we want to divide. We divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 4 over negative 4 is 1, and negative 20 divided by negative 4 is a positive 5. So here is our final answer. You could take it and you could go back and you could check. So does negative 18 equal 3 times 5 plus 2 minus 7 times 5? So negative 18, does that equal 15 plus 2 minus 35, which is 17 minus 35, which is negative 18? It does check out. Here's an example that has one with the distributive property, and the rule is you always want to distribute first. So 3 times 1 gives us 3, 3 times 3p gives us 9p, there's a minus sign in between, minus 7p, we transferred over what's written up here, equals 125. Perfect. Now we're going to, just like before, we're going to combine our like terms, so we could combine these two together. Negative 9p minus 7p is going to give us negative 16p. Then we have to get rid of this 3. To get rid of the 3, we'll subtract 3 from each side, which brings us to negative 16p equaling negative 128. We divide both sides by negative 16, and we get p equals 8. Can check our work. 3 times 1 minus 3 times 8 minus 7 times 8. We're going to see if that equals negative 125. So we've got 3 times 1 minus 24 minus 56. You have 3 times negative 23 minus 56. Let's see, 23 times 3 is negative 69 minus 56. I'm going to do 69, 56 is 125, and it's going to be negative, so it does check out. Now here's one, and you want to make sure that you're careful with ones like this, because like on our last test, when we had that negative, a lot of people forgot to distribute it as a negative 3 to both terms on the inside. So we've got our negative 7x, then we have to take the negative 3 times 4x, then we have to take the negative 3 times the 1 equaling negative 117. So I laid this out. This negative 3 distributed here, and then the negative 3 distributed here, written in this next step. So negative 3x times 4x is negative 12x, and negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. So now we'll combine our like terms. Negative 7x minus 12x is going to give us negative 19x. We still have this minus 3 equaling negative 17. We'll add 3 to both sides, which brings us here. We've got negative 19x equaling negative 114. Divide by negative 19, and x equals 6. Plug it in to see if it works. Negative 7 times 6 minus 3 times 4 times 6 plus 1. We're going to see what that equals. Negative 42 minus 3 times 24 plus 1. Negative 42 minus 3 times 25. Negative 42 minus 75 equals negative 117. It does check out. So here we have some examples. First ones, you want to combine your like terms. So 0 is going to equal 13r. We divide by 13. and r is going to equal 0. So I'd have 0 equals 5 times 0 plus 8 times 0, which is 0 equals 0. Checks out. Next one, we'll combine our like terms. We've got b can combine with b. So b plus b is going to give us 2b's. We still have this negative 1, and we still have this plus 7. Now, we've got to get that b alone, so the first thing we're going to get rid of is that minus 7. Negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8, equals 2b. We'll divide by 2, and negative 4 equals b. So we've got negative 1 equals negative 4 plus 7 plus negative 4. Negative 1 equals 3 plus negative 4, which does equal negative 1. Next one, we've got 3n minus 6n, so negative 3 equals negative 3n. Divide by negative 3, n equals 1. We check, negative 3 equals 3 times 1 minus 6 times 1. Negative 3 does equal 3 minus 6. Perfect. Here, these are the terms that we could combine. So we have negative 19 equals negative 11 minus x. What's farthest away from x? The minus 11. To get rid of it, we add 11. So we end up with negative 8 equals, and be careful on this one because it's not just an x, it equals a negative x, which can be rewritten as negative 8 equals negative 1x. Divide by negative 1, and x equals 8. Here we have 3k minus 4k, which is negative 1k, equaling 6. Divide by negative 1, and k equals negative 6. Perfect. Next one we'll distribute first. We get negative 40k plus negative 20 plus 6 equals 266. We'll combine our like terms. Negative 40k, negative 20 plus 6 is a negative 14 equals 266. We'll add 14 to both sides. We have negative 40k equals 280. Divide by negative 40. And we get k equals negative 7. Check our work. I'm going to check over here. Negative 5 times negative 7 times 8 plus 4 plus 6. Negative 5 times negative 56 plus 4. Negative 5 times negative 52 plus 6. Negative and a negative is a positive. 52 times 5. It's going to be 260 plus 6 is 266. It works out. We've got some distributing again. Here we've got to distribute. We would get 4 times 1 plus 4 times 8x equaling negative 124. 4 plus 32x equals negative 124. Subtract 4 from each side. 32x equals negative 128. Divide by 32. And we get x equals negative 4. Plug it in. 4 times 1 plus 8 times negative 4 equals negative 124. 4 times 1 plus negative 32, which is 4 times negative 31, which is negative 124. It works. The next one's an example where you have to actually distribute the negative. So it's going to be a negative 7x. You're going to take negative 3 times 4x, which is negative 12x. You're going to take negative 3 times 1, which is negative 3, and that equals negative 117. Combine our like terms. Negative 19x minus 3 equals negative 117. Add 3 to each side. Negative 19x equals negative 114, and I have to get out my calculator for that. we have negative 114 divided by 19, and we get x equals 6. Plug it into C. Plug in a 6, plug in a 6. We get negative 42 minus 3 times 24 plus 1. So 3 times 25 is going to be negative 75. Negative 42 minus 75 does equal 117. Last slide here, you're going to do the distributive property again. So you're going to get 3 minus 21b equals negative 144. Subtract 3 from each side. You get negative 21b equals negative 147. You're going to take 147 divided by 21, or negative 21, and you're going to get b equals a positive 7. Check it out. 3 times the quantity of 1 minus 7 times 7, negative 144. 3 times negative 48. 48 times 3, 12, 13, 14, which does equal negative 144. We'll distribute again. 119 equals 7 minus 14r. Subtract 7. 112 equals negative 14r. Take 112 divided by the negative 14, and you get negative 8 for r. We'll check. 119 equals 7 times 1 minus 2 times negative 8. So that'd be 1 minus negative 16, or 1 plus 16. We've got 7 times 17, which is 119. It checks out. And that's it. So you can go ahead and do the B3 homework. Make sure that you're downloading B3-W and get it to me as soon as you finish it. Thanks.